Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to go over the new budget planner and the covers that we got. But not only that, I updated my budget planner yesterday with my cash envelopes. And it was a very long weekend. I usually do this over the weekend and I was super busy. So I ended up doing it yesterday and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to record me doing it. And I did, and I posted that video so you guys can watch it. I was updating my budget. I was updating my cash envelopes and also getting ready for November's budget. So I'm kind of like filling all of the bills out, filling out the budget planner. So if you guys are new here, welcome. I like to talk about everything budget related. So if you can subscribe to my channel, like the video, say hello below, of course. So on Friday, I had a really big launch. And so that was on the dated all-in-one budget planners. And so last year we only had silver coil. This year we have gold, and then we have also silver. So I'm not going to go over everything in this video about what's in this planner. I just wanted to show you guys the new covers that I got for the 2026 and explain a little bit because I've been getting a lot of questions, and I also have the information on my website. So this year I created the gold rings with the horizontal weeks and the silver with the vertical weeks. Okay, so we now have two this year, which is so amazing. I'm so grateful I was able to do this for you guys and the shop, okay? So I call this the 2026 budget planner because it says, it is the 2026. So I'm going to pull out this one here. This one is the 2025. So this is the budget planner that I'm currently using, okay? When I came out with this one, we had a set of snap covers for the 2025 dated budget planner. So we have a set, and there's I think about 6 of them. No, maybe there's about 9. There's more. So we have the daisies, we have the minimal gardens, we have the flowers. So these snap covers that were made for the 2025 were supposed to be for the 2026, right? These are my accessories for my Christina Loves Planning line of stuff that I'm creating. So even when I created these snap covers, I also created bookmarks, and a couple of the dashboards for the cash binders, which those are fine. But the fact is that if I create the snap covers for 2025, I expected them to be for 2026. Unfortunately, when the supplier made my binders, they had a different engineer that for the whole placement, and it was literally off by a half a centimeter. And this was devastating because I'm a small business owner. So it's not like I can just snap my fingers and everything is okay. These were already halfway here. And so when I got my planners, I put the old ones on. I was trying to put it on and it was just not fitting correctly. So let me show you. So if you take a look, you see how this coil goes all the way to the top? And this one goes down a centimeter. This coil should have been here, okay? It's very difficult for me to explain this in a story or on a live. I have everything listed on my website, very, 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 very easy to understand. It's very straight to the point where it's the new snap covers are only for the 2026. But the reason why I want to explain it, because I want to be very transparent to explain what happened. This really affected me for a while. That's why I haven't really talked about it, because I'm very, very, very picky with the products, and this is my brand. So when you're creating something and your supplier is not doing, their part, their end of the bargain, it's very, very upsetting. And these were very, very expensive for me. And so I said to her, like, you're my supplier. You should know that I already have covers for these. So again, we have 2025, and then we have the covers that were made for this one. These all fit, obviously, this planner, but it doesn't fit. They fit if you want to slice and dice and do all that extra stuff. Like, that's up to you, but I don't really want my customers to have to do that. So after my big meltdown that I had with the supplier and management and everyone, like, I was livid. I still can't really wrap my head around the concept, but in any event, so they said, okay, let's pick, let's do 10 patterns. They gave me a discount. So that's why we have the new ones, the new patterns for the new planner. Now, I said to myself, geez, what am I going to do with all of the supply that I have? Because behind me, I have a lot of covers from 2025, right? So, and my customers have a lot of these patterns. They've bought in like every single pattern, right? So I'm thinking to myself, what can I do with these patterns from this batch from 2025? And I decided to create a 9x7 notebook, lined pages. They'll be like 200 pages, it'll be a good size, like, thickness, but not like, it's not going to be as thick as this now. It's going to have a small gold coil and a small silver with very similar covers, okay? But it's going to say notebook instead of this. So I wanted it to be like, matching. I wanted it to match the dated planners. So I did the same, the same cover, but instead of this, it's going to say notebook. And you can use all of the covers that were made for 2025. So all of the covers that are listed under 2025, if you purchase them or if you didn't and they're on the website, NewTek 2025, those are going to be used for the notebook, because I didn't want my customers to have a total loss with the covers, okay, in myself, because I have a ton left over. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so the 2025 snap covers, we have a lot left over and my customers bought a lot. So instead of having them be a total loss, I decided to create a 9x7 notebook for you guys. And in addition, I did gold and I also did silver. So I had to spend more money in order to kind of like not really rectify it 100%, but at least alleviate it and make myself happy, because I had a ton and I know my customers bought. So I'm like, I don't want my customers to feel like they bought all of these snap covers and they really had nothing to do with them, right? I mean, yeah, you could probably be pretty creative if you have a slicer and you can probably make it work. Absolutely. But I didn't really want to go that route. I want to help my customers. So when the notebooks get here, I'm probably going to have a little bit of a loss. That's why they're not going to be a total price. We'll have a sale or something. They'll be discounted for this reason. So if you bought a ton of the 2025 snap covers, not worry, because I do have the 9x7 line notebook, and who doesn't like a notebook? So I tried to think of like how I could use these. So hopefully that makes sense. So these are the new snap covers that are going to go with the 2026 budget planner. Okay. So I wanted to also take these covers and make them for the 2026. So you would have, essentially, you'll have the new covers, you'll have the older patterns as well for the 2026. So I'm going to be putting that order in for like this one. There's another Daisies that's brand new. This one, I think I'm going to pick 5. They're going to be a little bit brighter. The ones that you are seeing right now, they're a little bit darker because of the season. So that's why I did that. But I do plan to I wanted to make these. I want to make these and 2 other ones for the for the 2026. Okay. So again, all of these like if you are my customer and you're watching this and you're like, you already have all these, they will be able to go with the notebook. So do not worry, okay? That's why you see them on the website for $2, because I wanted to discount them for people to understand, like those are going to be $2. You can also use them for the notebook. So you can get them now and hold on to them until the notebook is ready next month. It should be any day now. She said they should be done. She's also going to send me my sample. So, and it's the same paper quality. It's lined. I know exactly like what the notebook is going to look like. Actually, there's two, like I said. One is going to be gold and silver. And then the covers are going to be very similar, just like what you're looking at right now, but it'll say notebook. So I just wanted to figure out a way to actually use those cover. So hopefully that makes sense. Now the new ones, these are the two new budget planners for 2026. I would definitely recommend you purchasing. We sold a lot, and I'm super excited that they went as fast. I was really kind of stressed. But these are the new covers. You can see there's this one. I just love them. I love them, and I hope you guys do too. I think they're so cute. It's just like totally yes, right? So I like this one. I love the darker fall colors, just because, like I said, of the season. So this one goes with this one on the back. We have this like, oh, and another thing too is that all of the covers have a film on them, just like the planner. So you have to be careful when you're peeling it off, because you have these here, and they might like break if you don't peel it gently, because you got to peel it off. Okay. So this is another one. I love this one. Oh, this is my favorite. I love this one. I love the dark one. I love this one. Actually, they're all my favorite. This one's like a bow. So all of these patterns are designed. They're not like laminated. They are printed on a plastic cover. So these are not laminated. You can't like open this up and take the paper out. It's just, it's created. The pattern's created and then printed on the plastic. But aren't they? They're just absolutely beautiful. Aren't they pretty? I love this one. They're pretty, right? And it's kind of hard to get like colors exact, like I work off of Canva, so it's like I'm trying to do my colors, and I hope, and I go by what my vision is, and then these colors are what they're supposed to be. So I was like, yeah, it came out right. So then we have this one here, which is like a gold, but yeah, it's a pattern printed, so sometimes the colors can be slightly, off, but essentially these came out perfect. These came out exactly what I was looking for, so I was really, really pleased. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys the new covers that go with the 2026. So if you go to the website, you're going to see 2025 dated budget planner, and you'll see snap covers for 2025. Okay, so you have it's listed, easy to understand. And then when you go to the 2026 dated, it'll also say 2026 snap covers. And it also gives information about what I'm just talking about as brief as possible. I didn't want to make like a big paragraph. So, to wrap it up, basically my supplier ended up not being aware of the previous year. So she's not the one that's like putting the holes and doing the production part of it. So I guess I should have said something as well. I didn't know I really had to. And so that's what I had said to her. But when you're working with a lot of people, I don't want to really just blame her either. So I just thought she would have assumed that it would be made the same way. So you can see how there's like the space here and a little space here. So the engineer who did this decided to put it in the middle, versus this one went all the way up and all the way to the bottom. And that little tiny mistake could be a very, very big thing, and it was a very big thing. So I had to create the 10 patterns, spend more money on that, and then I also had to create the 10 by the 9x7 notebook, but that's okay. I'm happy about that because I want you guys to have that. Everybody loves a notebook. Everyone likes to write their tasks and things, and maybe you don't want to bring your planner with you, so you'll be able to have the 9x7 notebook with you, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, I hope you guys also love the covers. They're absolutely beautiful. So I did a video yesterday on, let's see, I did a video yesterday on my budgeting. I'm just going to kind of go. I really don't want this video to be too long, so we'll wrap it up fairly quickly. I'm going to go ahead and get back to work and package all of your 2026. I just want to tell you guys also that, wow, there was a lot of people that bought the horizontal this year. I personally am going to stick with the vertical because I'm just a vertical girl. Look at, I do everything. I like making my list. I just like it. It's just easier for me, I guess. All right, so we are almost at the end of October, so we are going to be going into November. And you know what that means? That means we're coming out with a new November theme calendar, okay? The calendar is going to be about being thankful for your finances. And I'm actually working on that calendar as we speak. Every day you're going to have different tasks to do, the same as the current calendars that we have. And it's kind of important for you to do it. You know, if you don't have the time, you can print out the calendar and take a look at it later and go through each day. But it's to help you change your habits, become familiar with different things that you may not be aware of. So I hope that you guys can like do the tasks that are on the calendar, okay? So for November, it's going to be thankful for your finances. And again, I'm working on those now, but I want to show you November. I started to write out the things that I have to do. So I use this for business as well. I do like a bigger overview, but this is business, personal, and for budgeting. And then over here is where I write, this is my weeks, but this is November. So I was actually doing the week that we're in. So, but for November, this is where I'm going to be listing out all of the things that we're doing for the month of November. So keep your, you know, let's say, no way. It's this Saturday. Okay. So much for a secret. The calendar will be out probably one of these days. So much for the secret, but that's okay. Let's go back over here. So we're going to have a really busy holiday, but I don't care. I think that's amazing. We're going to go out with a bang, okay? I like to decorate it. Remember, we talked about that. I'm not going to really, let's see. Oh, yeah, here we are. So I was just pretty much updating the things I had to do, my sinking funds. I was starting to do November, and then I have the cash envelopes here. So I just kind of wanted to show you what I was actually doing. Step 1 is kind of like your organization, right? Grabbing your caddy. Step 2 is obtaining a budget planner. You have to have one for the full year. Like I literally use this one for the full year. Step 2 is obtaining your cash envelopes, right? Really, really using these and understanding the method, understanding the system as to why you're using this. Step 3 is your sinking funds. Now we need to create, okay, do you have an emergency fund? No. Okay, that's the first thing you do. After that, of course, you can start doing other and adding as many as you want. That's your personal. That would be step 4 is creating an emergency, creating your sinking funds, looking at what are the areas that you typically spend the most? And then step 5 is the saving challenges. All right, so that's 5. These are the 5 steps that I talk about. These are the 5 areas. 1 is organization. 2 is your budget planner. 3 is your cash envelope system. 4 is your sinking funds. And 5 is saving challenges. This week, we are on week 4. So every week we always have a new theme that I talk about. Those are the 5. So those are the 5 steps that you should be practicing, and really getting really how do I say this? Accustomed to your cash envelopes, because this is what is going to save you. So I'm going to, yeah, when you have your cash envelopes and you have all your categories, you're using the money that's in here, and when the money's gone, it's gone. And so it's to set you up so you're not using your debit card and you're just using cash. Yeah, it's a little bit of a learning groove, but everything is like that. So I know I hear a lot of people sometimes say they don't want to go inside the bank or it's too much, but I do believe now the ATM, you can take like certain denominations. Don't quote me on that, but I think you can. So those are the 5, categories that I want you guys to focus on and think about. Like, what is your ultimate goal for the new year? And ask yourself these questions, because if you are 100% serious, and we always talk about being in the mindset, that is really ultimately the first step, right? You really need to be in the right mindset, and that goes with anything that you're doing if you're starting something new. Okay, so do me that favor and think about some of the things that you plan on doing for the new year, but don't wait until the new year. Don't not do anything because screw it, I'm just gonna blow money and go crazy. I'll just do it. I'll start it in the new year. No, try to get yourself together. Try to familiarize yourself with what do you want to do? Do you need to get organized? What type of planning system are you going to use? Do you want horizontal, vertical? What works for you? The budget planner that I have is very, very user-friendly, and I can't stress that enough. Let's take a look at this one real quick. Very user-friendly for you to keep track of the things that you have to do, like your appointments, but also keep track of your daily tasks. And then you have a couple minimal pages for budgeting. Very easy. For me, that's what I needed. I didn't want a ton of different pages because I wasn't going to use them, number one, and it's just overwhelming for me. I just want to use exactly what I need, and really that's about it. And even with my own planner, even though I created the planner, there are pages in here that I don't use, and that is okay. If you see a page that you don't need right now, you might need it next month. So just think of it that way, okay? So after this, we will wrap it up very quickly so I can do part 2 of this video. Part 2 of the video is going to talk about the saving challenges, okay? But in the beginning, you do have your yearly overview. And again, you have your yearly overview over here where you can use this section for anything that you want. Then you have your yearly bill tracker, and you do have your car maintenance on this side. Note pages. And then this is where it starts. So you have your month on 2 pages that's dated. Your weekly section. Okay, you have a grocery list. I can only put one. You have a couple task pages. I like to call this your running list for the full month. So just list everything out and continue it on the next page if you have to. You can highlight and cross off as you go, but this is your running list for the full month. This is where the budgeting starts. You list out all of your bills by the due date, 1st, 5th, 10th. List everything out, and then you have this page over here so you can look at when your pay period is, put some dot stickers here, and then that way you're looking to see, okay, these are the bills that I have to pay between my pay periods. You have 2 expense trackers if you want to track like exactly what you're spending each day. You have 8 sinking funds. This is where you're going to keep track of what you're adding, keep track of if you need to take money out. This is where you're going to do it. Then you have a credit card tracker. You have your debt tracker to keep track of, like, if you want to pay off credit cards, list it here. Keep track. Afterpay trackers, Sezzle, Zip, all those subscriptions. And then you have your paycheck to paycheck trackers. Okay, so on the back here, you have an orders page if you want to keep track of your orders. So very simple, very minimal, I believe it's straight to the point. So okay, so if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. But most importantly, what do I always say? Say hello below. Again, I hope I made sense explaining the situation with the snap covers. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know. But you can also take a look on the website. I do have it listed on the website, like right when you're opening up the page. It kind of goes through what the situation is. So it's not we're going to get through this. We have new covers for this one. The old covers are going to be used for the new 9x7 notebook. Yay! Yay! So we are going to get through this, and we can get through anything, okay? We want to start the new year successful, correct, confidence, with confident, and we got this. So do not forget to say hello below. I will go ahead and post this second video soon. All right, bye guys.